Simon, so it's been nearly 7 months since our trip to Grantham, which is sort of our last competitive game of football. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting closer to the return of football. How have sort of the last few months been for yourself without non-league football, and now is there sort of an air of excitement around the place?
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been a long time. Everybody's looking forward to getting back now, and we're just starting to get things going, signing players. Touch wood, things have improved regarding the pandemic and stuff, and we can get through this season and start and finish it hopefully, because the last two have been stopped early. But yeah, we're all excited, looking to go back around mid-June, and we're just starting to bring players on board now. So really excited, hopefully having a good season.
And how have your preparations been affected? Have they still been affected by the pandemic?
Not as much as of late. We've started to sign players. I mean, some lads are on furlough at other clubs, and there's been that kind of crossover. Obviously, players were contracted to May the 1st, so we've only been able to do things beyond that. But otherwise, things have been fine, and I think it'll just gather pace now between now and the start of the season.
You started to shape some of your squad already. So what are your thoughts behind some of the moves you've made? Has there been a focus on maybe signing players that have played at this level before, but also played at sort of a high level?
Yeah, I mean, this will be going into my 4th season, but 2 of them haven't even finished, so I've only had 1 completed season. The one thing I've probably learned the most about this division, even though I'm managing the one below, is the need for players that can play at this level and have lots of experience at this level. Tried lots of different things to try and be competitive in the league, without having the silly money that some teams do. So we've tried to do different things, mix it up, younger players, and be creative in what we do. But ultimately, you need good, experienced NPL players, and I think this league's kind of unique even to the leagues below and the leagues above. It's pretty unique, isn't it? It's very competitive. Every team can beat anyone on any given day, and we're trying to get as many lads that have got good experience of playing at this level, and that's what we're aiming for this year, is to get a good strong spine through the team, lots of experience, but with lots of quality as well. But more than anything else, lads that have played a lot of non-league football at this level.
And some of the players that you have signed, that some of the experienced players you sort of recruited from other teams in the league. I mean, Scott Backer's even come back. Does that sort of show the direction that the club and that you want to sort of go, which is obviously to be competing at the top of the table?
Yeah, we want to be as high up as we possibly can. We're aware of what some teams are doing, and it's on another sort of level to everyone else. But we're trying to be as competitive as we can. Yeah, Scott's came back. He moved away last time. There's a few reasons behind the pandemic and work and family situations, which lots of people probably were affected like that. But he was always, pretty keen that if the chance came up to come back, he would do, and he has done. And again, a proper NPL player like Scott Burton and like the other lads that we've signed, Shentz, players that can play in this division, players that win in this division and have got promotions and things. So that's what we're aiming to try and do.
Obviously, you mentioned that you've tried a few different things over the last couple of seasons in terms of having a squad. Last season we had quite a young squad. Is that something that you're sort of still keen to see? I mean, you spoke before about having a team that's athletic and got a bit of pace. Is that about having that as well, but mixed with a bit of experience as well?
Yeah, I'm always keen to give younger players a chance. Going back to my own career, I always wanted a chance, and I know how frustrating it is sometimes for young players to be given an opportunity. So I like to give them an opportunity. We looked at it last year. I mean, there was a big probability the season wouldn't get finished and it was going to be broken up, so we were able to probably take a little chance on that and look at it that way. Some lads did themselves credit, and some showed that they're not ready to play in the NPL, and we learned an awful lot from that with the younger players. So the right younger players that can come in and compete and hold their own, definitely we're interested in that, and definitely keen to give them an opportunity. But as I said, it's a tough division. It's really tough. You 3 games a week a lot of the time, and you could have some real tough, you had Shields, Basford and Scarborough in a week, and for young lads that's too much a lot of the time. So we have to be aware that we need people that can deal with that, but we're keen to have good young players around, but there'll be a much more experienced feel about the team and squad this year. Yeah.
If we go back 2 seasons ago, your 2nd season in charge, and we were sort of in top half of the table, we had a really good run. I think the team were very close together and had a good relationship. Obviously, is that important as well? Yeah,
we're going to try and recreate that. That was probably my best season here. Again, it didn't finish, but we were strong for a long part of the season. We got into the new year. I think when we beat Hyde on Boxing Day, we were 4th or something, and we created a real good atmosphere with good experienced lads in general, a couple of good young players, which is what we're going to try and do this time. We were unfortunate, I guess, in we had to take an offer for Darius, who went to South Shields, and that kind of knocked us off our perch a little bit, which is understandable, a player of his sort of quality and the team's main goal scorer. But aside from that, we had a good group of players, a good squad, great team spirit, and we kind of got them together as early as possible, gelled them team spirit wise, and it was a great changing room. It was one of the best changing rooms I've sort of been involved in, and we'll try and do that this time. We'll get as many as the lads committed as early as possible, and we'll get training, and we'll start to have some, you know, get-togethers and get the team spirit there, and hopefully we can have a good season with that.
You're hopeful that obviously next season will be hopefully a full season?
I'm hoping so, for everyone's sake. I'm sure we all are. You know, like I said, you know, I'm only, you know, seeing what I see on the news. I'm no expert on all of this, but touch wood, with vaccines and things, hopefully we can see it through, and we can get on top of sort of the pandemic and finish our sport and let crowds back in. Be good to get fans back in here and get the place sort of going if we can this year with some good wins and some good results, and hopefully we can see the season through. I'd like to think the league can maybe manage it better now. We've had a bit of experience of what's gone on, and there'll be a way around finishing the season, and I think non-league football desperately needs a full season to finish, to be honest.
You just mentioned about sort of having a crowd. Obviously having a crowd is something that can help drive the players on. I think the last game that we had with fans here was the 3-1 versus Morpeth, so that's 7 months ago. Obviously they're excited to come back. What would be your message to them?
Come back and give us a chance. And I know, like, you know, I've said it many times since I've been here, you know, it's probably been a lot of downs at Stalybridge Celtic in the last 7-8 years, maybe longer than that, and I know a lot of fans are probably down on their luck with it a little bit, but we urge them to come back. You know, when we sign players, they come here and they like the ground, and they're like, oh, you know, this place will be packed out and we can get it really going, and if we can do things well. So the players really want the fans to come on board. I do, and you know, it's been a sort of broken couple of seasons really in terms of not finishing it. I would urge fans to just come in, enjoy the fact we can have some football, and let's try and do what some of the players have said. You know, not myself, some of the players that have come and signed have said, you know, let's get this place really going and get good attendances, and you know, let's do that. Let's come up here and try and get some positive results, a good start, and let's all get behind the team, and you know, maybe give it a bit of a clean slate and come and enjoy a non-league football.